Chapter 15, saddle making.
Oh, I have it written as Chapter 14, saddle making. Oh my god.
Am I wrong?
I haven't been counting.
Yeah, the chapters in the book are not numbered, so this is our own personal numbering. 14 is consistent with what I have as written as 13 Rider's Blade and 14 saddle making.
Well, going forward, we are deciding that we're going to go for 3 chapters an episode.
Yeah, we've already...
I think we did outline that last time.
Yeah, we did outline that at some point. Anyway, regardless of what chapter numbers they are, this episode is Saddle Making, Theron's Ford, and the brilliantly named Thunder Roar and Lightning Crackle.
Oh, incredible name. Can't wait till we get to that one.
I love it. I love that name. I know that you're a hater, Charlie. I know you are a bit of a hater about Thunder Roar and Lightning Crackle as a chapter title, but I think it's funny.
Well, I thought it was about something else. Now having read it, I'm a bit less of a hater.
I thought it was really funny because there's a storm and it's called that. I was like, that's so stupid.
I thought it was him doing lightning magic, and I was like, that is so stupid.
No. He can't do lightning magic.
He can't do any magic at all.
Well,
He hasn't even figured out magic is real. Anyway, I'll do us a brief little summary. Not a huge amount of plot happens in this, but there's a lot of dialogue and discussion. So, in saddle making... we begin with Eragon waking up in his little camp with Brom and Saphira, and he is struck by grief about the death of his uncle once again. He cries a bit, swears at Brom, who's like literally right next to him, then gets up. They have some breakfast. Brom makes Saphira a saddle and has a lot of knowledge about how a dragon rider's saddle should be constructed. Eragon does not question this. He thinks it's pretty neat how convenient that this guy knows that. They talk about buying horses. Eragon's like, I don't need a horse, I've got Saphira. And Brom's like, well, I need a horse and you need me, so... And reluctantly, Eragon does have to agree with that.
Unfortunately.
And then in the chapter Theron's Ford, they are walking to Theron's Ford from their little camp. Eragon's spending a lot of his time thinking about how he's definitely going to return to his hometown, and it's only temporary, like he's going to kill these guys and go straight back home, and it's going to be great. Brom tells Eragon in pretty extreme detail the life cycle, diet, care of dragons, like everything from a day-to-day knowledge that no one could possibly actually know since dragons have been dead for quite some time. Once again, Eragon's like, oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
no more.
Yeah, one little fun fact that we learned that Eragon's quite pleased and fixated on is that the dragon gets to decide when it hatches. So Saphira chose him specifically to hatch for, and he feels very chuffed about that. Which is fair enough, it's quite cute.
Yeah.
Brom is refusing to tell him who the owner of Zarok is. And then when they break for camp for the night, Brom whittles some big sticks into the crude shapes of swords and beats the shit out of Eragon. He gets hit over the head and literally blacks out because he got hit so hard.
He's dead. It's over.
Yeah, he has to be revived with like some water on the face or whatever. Which, well, I'm not too sure about that one, Brom, but alright. Saphira laughs at him for getting the shit beat out of him by an old man. And the next day they enter Theron's Ford, and Eragon's got some big thoughts about town planning. Brom robs a man, they buy some horses. The horses' names are Snowfire and Caddock. As you may be able to guess, Snowfire is described quite a lot and very lovingly, and Caddock is there. Brom confirms the Razak came through this town, and they head on out on their new horses. Eragon has only rid a horse bareback and for very short periods of time before ever, but he seems to get the trick of it. They pass by the mountain in which the leader of the riders, Rail, is the location of where he got his dick kicked in. And we learn some things about that. And they reach the edge of the really large plain that is in the middle of their continent. And then we begin Thunder Roar and Lightning Crackle. Eragon is thinking a lot. he is fantasizing a lot about killing the Razak and how he's going to use his cool bow and arrow to do it, and they will be dead and it'll be epic. They follow the road down a treacherous hillside. This hillside, I have some thoughts about it. We'll get there. Eragon doesn't know the location of any other city ever. He has no idea. He doesn't know this plane was here. He doesn't know where to go. And they start heading off following the tracks of the Razak. It's really miserable. There's a bunch of wind. It really sucks. They have to carry all their water with them because I guess this is a desert, not a plain or something, because there's no rivers or water. The next day there is a really huge thunderstorm, and we get quite a cool sequence in which Saphira is trying desperately to land while being caught by the wind, and she's unable to close her wings and is getting thoroughly just flung around, and Eragon's having to like throw himself onto her wings in order for her to be able to close them and escape from, well, this will kill her eventually if she continues being stuck like that.
It's very dramatic.
It's very dramatic. It's very fun. A very fun read, that bit. And then there's a bunch of torrential rain. There's some really the thunder's roaring and the lightning's crackling. You see.
Hell yeah.
And then at the end of the day, the storm's over and they think everything's quite beautiful. They're very tired and they go to sleep. And he does not get hit with a stick because they're too tired. Brom's too tired to hit him with a stick tonight. And that's our rough summary.
Sweet.
Pretty good. Relatively short sequence of chapters this time.
Well, they talk about a lot of things in there.
There's a lot of exposition in there.
Yeah, they talk about heaps and heaps of stuff. Most of it is kind of stuff you don't really need to know or already know. Or
I've highlighted.
Not a lot of it is super plot relevant.
I've highlighted some of the things on my reread here that I thought were quite fun foreshadowing.
How about we go from the start? Let's go from saddle making.
Go from saddle making.
Brom is so sussy.
Saddle making. My first note for saddle making actually is that I really like the description of Eragon's grief in this first paragraph. It's very short, but it's very like he's miserable. Yeah. It's so horrible. Everything's so horrible.
He's having the worst time possible.
He's having a really terrible time, and then he kind of pulls himself together. It felt good just to lie there, to hide from the world outside. It's like,
man.
yeah, boy.
Yeah, but I bet it did.
Your life kind of did just explode.
Yeah, everyone's having a really rough time.
Yeah.
I like that. I think every chapter, there's only 3 of them, but Saddle Making and Theransford both start with like how he's feeling, which I think is like pretty good and gives you like a good kind of touchstone for where he's at during these events. Air quotes, nothing happens, but that was really good. I thought the description of making the saddle was so fucking long. It's like almost an entire page.
Even just from describing the types of saddles that existed is like a fat paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Pages are like short supply in this book, so taking a lot of time to describe the saddle is really funny.
I just love how long it's taking him to get to the plot. I think we get to the plot like halfway through the book, and we're not there yet. But like they do not have the appropriate tools to be making the saddle or the workspace.
No, not even a little bit.
They have no awls, they have no leather glue, they have nothing. They've got no thread. They're just like...
Well, they don't need thread because you can stitch it with strips of leather.
That is true.
They don't have any needles.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not sure how
they don't have a needle or an awl. You kind of need at least one of those.
Yeah, and none of the... I've been watching a lot of leatherworking videos, but I was thinking about... They're punching so many holes in this leather and all of the edges are unfinished, so they're just going to keep tearing. It's stressing me out so bad. And also it says that it's padded, but not what with.
Oh
shit
yeah,
from
they
the
do say
ground.
that.
Yeah, like
Sewn together
some
with
leaves.
padding between them.
I thought they were going for like the thin one that has no padding.
The thin
But
one
it
has
says
a little
that
bit
there's
of padding.
padding.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. There's intricate knots rigged in place of buckles. From your raw leather, I don't know, maybe it was tanning in that shed, but it wasn't done.
No, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is tanned. It's not rawhide.
Yeah.
But like, it's not finished.
I think it definitely wasn't done, which is why they were able to steal it.
Yeah. Because it was still like more or less whole cow bits.
Yeah.
He stole so much leather.
Yeah, to get a saddle on
To
a
make
dragon.
a whole saddle.
No,
a lot
I'm
of
pretty
leather.
sure he said he stole 3 hides.
Jesus,
A cow is so big.
that's like half a year's livelihood for that leather maker.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
Oh, but he doesn't want to steal again, so it's like...
He's so against stealing in these chapters.
That's one of the things I have underlined here, is him saying... when Brom's convincing him they need to buy horses, and Eragon thought it over. Alright, he grumbled, we'll get horses. But you have to buy them. I don't have any money, and I don't want to steal again. It's wrong.
And then Brom comes back with, actually stealing is morally
Stealing's
correct.
dope.
Actually, sometimes stealing's epic because the guys we want to kill are government guys. So stealing from the government is swag.
I'm such a libertarian.
We forgot that everyone in Carver Hall hates taxes.
Yes.
Hates the government, hates taxes.
Just don't like him.
Brom loves to steal.
Brom loves to steal. Except for this horse. We'll get to that in
Yeah, we
Darren's
can get to that later. I like how much of the chapter he uses up just like reiterating how much danger Eragon is in.
Yeah, letting you know once again.
It's so bad
the
for
fucking
him.
big guy, he's not gonna stop. He's gonna search for you. The longer they don't find you, the harder they will search for you.
So let's make the saddle.
So
Yeah,
we
is
need
this-
to buy some horses.
Is this the first indication that Galbatorix might want to recruit Eragon? Because, like, I think the rest of the mentions of him we've had have been like, he's gonna fucking kill you, he's gonna
Yeah.
kill you 100%.
Yeah, this might be the first
That's
time he's
true.
mentioned recruiting.
But, I mean, Eragon hates the taxman so badly, he's never gonna join
Yeah.
up with the king.
Never gonna work with him. Brom does apologize to Eragon about, like, what's been happening.
Oh yeah.
The description is shorter than the saddle descriptions,
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
like,
something.
oops, sorry, your whole life got destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen.
I didn't. What's a weird thing to say? I didn't mean for this to happen.
It's like,
you didn't
no one-
start any of
you did
this.
this.
Yeah, you didn't mean for anything to happen.
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
You were just gonna be an old man and die in that village.
I was, like, rereading the
My work
last
here is
chapter a little
done.
bit.
You didn't do anything.
I was rereading the last chapter a bit just to figure out where we were up to. And there's a line that goes, Eragon asks, hey, what are we doing here? And Brom dodges the question with like, hey, check out this cool sword.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Brom's dodging a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Like
he was
expert.
if he was having this conversation with a smarter man, it would not be going very well for him.
No.
But Eragon,
Luckily for us.
luckily for him, Eragon loves to take things at face value.
I love idiot protagonists. They're
I
so
love him.
good.
He's so sweet.
He's simply not looking.
He's simply like, okay, I don't like stealing because it's wrong,
We should buy those horses.
but you have to buy them.
Yeah, but I don't have the money, so you
But
have
I
to buy
don't have
them.
any money, so you have to do it.
Couldn't get any from the rubble of his home. Yeah, that's saddle making. Fuck all happens.
I
Yeah.
make a saddle.
Into Theron's sword.
Shocking.
Incredible.
Saphira wears the saddle in Theron's sword because...
They have no horses.
that's
Well,
nice.
they say she would have to carry it until they got horses. Why should the horses carry
That's
it?
what I was thinking.
Surely this thing's huge.
Yeah,
should
it's gonna
continue
be
and
wearing
she
it.
can just wear it.
She's a dragon.
Yeah.
Put a shirt on that beast. It's fine.
Yeah.
I found the line that he considers lands to the south to be barbaric really funny because that's the entire kingdom
That's
except for the
everywhere.
valley.
Yeah, everywhere except for his house.
You guys all suck. Like that's
Yeah, the
everybody.
taxman comes from there, but they're uncivilized and barbaric.
Like I was reading it and thinking maybe he's referencing Serda, which like a bit of a dick thing to say. But then I looked at the map and I remembered the Poundcar Valley is literally right at the top of the map.
Yeah.
So, who's the barbarian?
There's no note that, like, Eragon's ever left Carverhall.
It
No,
said
he
that he's never
hasn't.
left the valley.
Yeah.
He's
right.
never been, I don't think he's ever even been to Therinswood before.
Yeah.
Cause
No, he's been, like, once or twice. I remember him, like, saying, like, you know, he's gone on, like, a wagon to it or something, but he's... I know for a fact that he's never left the valley.
he's never left the valley. He's never gone past here.
But he is saying, again, like, that someday I will return.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Maybe.
This cannot be a permanent exile.
Does he ever go back?
I don't
I don't think he goes back.
I'm not sure that he ever goes back there.
Nikki checking the levels. Yeah, I like... Spoilers for book 2, I guess, but Roran jumps it.
The
He's
whole
out,
town
everybody bails.
leaves. There's nothing there.
It, like, gets obliterated. I don't think he goes back.
Yeah. So then, his legs are still bleeding from his horrible
He's
scab
so
wounds.
injured. He's so fucked up.
That
He's-
first flight fucked him up for real.
It got him
I
really
think he has
bad.
permanent scarring. For,
Probably.
like, ever. Brom's...
I've got permanent scarring from less than that,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
Brom's, like... Why is this what he teaches him about dragons? This is not relevant.
Okay, for one more second, right before that, before we get into what he's saying about it, Eragon says, so what exactly can dragons do? You said you knew something of their abilities. Brom laughed, his sapphire ring flashing in the air as he gestured.
It's just, it's
what
like
could that be?
blinking neon signs. But like he asked what are their abilities, and he's like, anyway, here's how they fuck. Not useful, not relevant. Can you tell me how to like interact with her,
He
please?
doesn't tell him that.
He doesn't say how they
does.
fuck.
He says they mate and lay eggs.
We don't get all of what he says, but he does explain their mating system.
Oh, he
Which-
does explain how they
Explained
mate.
how dragons mate. Oh
Bing,
my
bing,
god.
bing.
Brom.
Well, maybe in like a
Oh.
relationship and
he's
courting
telling
level, you
the
know?
life cycle of dragons.
What if he was asking about dragons are people? What if he was asking about elves? Here's how they fuck.
Here's how they fuck.
Like,
Okay, well, to truly understand the life of a dwarf, you must know.
that's private. What
They're-
they do down there is
They're
private.
carved from rocks.
Down there.
Like, I just... he's giving him so much information and none of it helps him.
Well, the egg thing makes him feel special.
Yeah, Sophia like some smiley face. Yeah, that's a big boost for his ego. It's very cute. Him
I
not
think
telling...
it's really funny that their eggs are hatched and they're just already, like, their eggs are laid and they're already ready to go in
They're
there.
ready to go.
That was like...
Like, what do you mean they're ready to go?
Are they like
Are they-
awake in
Are they
there?
hibernating in there?
I hope they're asleep because being awake in a teeny little egg for like 300 years
I
would
don't know.
drive you
I feel like
crazy.
they must have
Yeah.
they must have some level of like awareness of the outside because otherwise they wouldn't be able to choose when to hatch. But I got to assume that it's not. She couldn't like talk when she was hatched.
Yeah, she was
No.
just like
so
a
I
little
think
baby.
that they have like a kind of weird
Delayed development.
like they're in there and they have like a sense of like what's around them but not an understanding maybe
Just like, it's magic.
because otherwise she went backwards in development.
Yeah, or
I
maybe
think
she was in the
the-
egg so long and went crazy.
The choosing a writer is something that the writers have made up to make themselves feel better about it.
Well, no, because I'm pretty sure it says originally they were choosing when, like, the lands were in a good, you know, when it was, like, a fertile summer or whatever, so they could hatch and eat.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, like, some animals do
That-
that.
that makes sense,
Not
yeah.
not hatching, but they'll completely create an egg with a viable embryo in it and then wait until...
When dragons lived in
Yeah.
the wild, those
and then lay.
circumstances are usually dictated by the availability of food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Reasonable.
normal.
Yeah, your mummy and your daddy probably told you come out of the egg. We've got a deer for you.
And the writers go along and touch every egg and say, like, oh, this one chose me.
I promise.
Promise.
Well, I think it's so funny
Big
that-
steak in his pocket.
I think that's so funny. They get given like 2 eggs like every now and then or whatever, and they're like, okay, now every child in the land.
You'd feel so special. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why they were all such dicks. I think, like, Brom talking about Zarok's owner but refusing to speak his name is so crack up. He's like, no,
A mighty warrior who was much
I don't
feared.
know.
and I'm not going to say his name.
And it's not because I want to keep knowledge from you, but it is.
and it's like
Like, he doesn't have any reason not to tell him. He just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
he does for personal reasons, and it's that he really fucking hates that guy and doesn't even want to talk about him because he fucked his wife.
Yeah.
So. Like, I'm not telling this 15-year-old about the guy who cucked me. I'm sorry.
Well, it's the other way around. He cucked him.
Oh my god, I forgot. Sorry.
Brom's
Brom's a homewrecker.
Yeah, Brom's the homewrecker in this situation.
Brom. Mr. Irons. Mr. Jeremy Irons. Crazy.
Anyway, in between all of this...
Sorry, just really quick. I'm seeing this right now. Peace. All will be told in time, Brom said gently.
Chill.
Eragon grunted, unconvinced. You're right.
He's right.
He will not tell you.
He's never gonna tell you shit, bro.
Throughout all of this, Brom is not teaching Eragon how to fight. This does continue.
Yeah.
Oh, he teaches him like a couple stances or something and then beats him up a bit more
Before
and
we
then
get to
teaches him a
that-
couple more stances.
Alright.
I did just want to mention how smug Saphira is about being a dragon.
Yeah.
She fucking loves it.
Oh, she's
so
right.
funny.
She's right.
Exactly, she's right.
Well, she's a drag.
I didn't remember like the extent to which she's so invested in this revenge quest and wants those motherfuckers dead so bad. It's so cute. She's just like, I'm all in.
She's got like genetic hatred for these guys.
You wronged my boy, I'm gonna fuck you up
Yeah.
so bad. Yeah, no. With the Brom beating Eragon up stuff,
Brom doesn't start by teaching Eragon how to fight.
No,
he
does not
starts
start
by
stances.
beating the shit out of
He
him.
starts by throwing the stick at him.
Yeah.
and then knocking him out cold.
Yeah.
It's his training technique is so fucking bad. Like, when you are training somebody to fight, teach them like basic stances, basic forms, and then you do a practical fight, not just attacking a child.
Yeah, and also you don't say, oh, a real enemy wouldn't soften his blows and neither will I. Should I pander to your incompetence so you'll feel better?
He hits
I
him
don't
while his
think
back
so.
is turned.
He smacks him over the fucking skull that can kill him.
Yeah, Eragon's straight like, this is hurting me and I don't want to do it, and then turns his back to leave, and Brom keeps beating him up.
Rom's like, don't turn your back on an enemy. You're
It's
not
like,
his
you're not an
enemy.
You're supposed to be looking after him.
You're old man from the village.
And also, his whole life got set ablaze a day ago.
Also, he's already horrifically injured.
Yes.
And you're gonna hit
So
him.
hurt. They get on the horses later and his legs start bleeding again. Like, he's so injured, and Brom's like, time to completely, like, king hit this 15-year-old with a log. Like,
That should be a concussion that lasts for the rest of the book.
it is.
It's permanent brain damage.
It was really subtle writing from Paolini. If you read through it, he's just like a little bit stupider for the rest of the series.
Oh, I can't wait till he learns to read.
I feel like learning to read at that age would be really difficult.
Yeah. For
Just never
someone,
being exposed
I gotta
to
be
it.
honest. For someone so stupid, I think he learns it pretty easily.
Maybe it's the writer intelligence or whatever.
It's Saphira, like, boosting
Saphira's
him.
reading.
Because, like,
She's buffing him while he learns to read.
you've learned to read a different text type recently, but, like, you already
But that's, I already know how to read.
Yeah.
So, like, and that isn't even easy for, like, people who know how to read. So I feel like when he learns to read later, it's like he's getting that from somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's helping him.
That's like... Yeah, I learned how to read a different text type, but it was letters, and I know what letters are, and I know how letters get put together. He doesn't know that. Anyway, we'll get to Eragon's adventures with literacy.
So I would love you guys to bear with me, because this is where the majority of my notes are, and it's off of one line that really, really, really pissed me off.
All
Oh,
right.
I'm excited. I wonder if it's one of the ones I took note of.
It was the bad manners to talk to someone else's dragon line.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is fucking crazy. Dragons, like, are people. They are sapient, living people who get no autonomy over who they're allowed to communicate with, like, because they're paired up with these people. Like, I feel like that must be really, really isolating. And I feel like the narrative's really struggling to reconcile the I mean, this is
introducing the
notes.
dragons as sentient, but
Yeah.
also not treating them as sentient.
Exactly, like it's struggling
Or
to
autonomous.
reconcile the assumptions of ownership that like we in the external world have over animals that serve a purpose, like as a mount or
Yeah.
as a beast of burden, with the reality of dragons within the actual story being sapient, autonomous people in their own right, and Saphira and by extension all other dragons are treated like simultaneously as people and as pets.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if that's how the writers view their partnership with dragons, how the fuck did that partnership get started in the first place to, like, agree to such a subservient role? It just, like, I don't know, it seems degrading to be put on the same level as, like, a horse. Plus, the fucking raw deal of if your rider dies, who is 1,000 times weaker, smaller, and, like, more likely to die than you are dead. But if you died, they get to keep living. I just, like, how did any of this happen?
I don't know.
I'm like a dragons are a superior species truther because they can fly and they have sick magic and they're gigantic and really intelligent, and I just like...
I guess elves are a little bit stronger than humans.
That is true. Elves
But still,
also
like,
live for
the
a long
extent.
time.
Also, like, twice or something.
Yeah.
But just like... Of
Yeah.
course this is a book
I
written by a
gotta
kid,
be
but
honest,
it's-
I really interpreted that as it's rude to mind talk to a dragon, because he talks to Saphira out loud.
That's true, but like...
I think it's maybe a little rude to kind of get your brain up in there.
Yeah.
It's rude to do that to another person.
That's true, but if you take into account that the dragon's primary mode of communication is mind speaking...
Yeah, but she talks to him and that's not a problem.
That's true.
I think, I don't know, I just kind of accepted that as it would be rude for me to mind meld with her.
Without you? What if we
Well-
all mind melted?
Well, not quite like that. Because, like, he talks to her, I'm sure he talks to her just like
Casually.
with his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, I haven't really taken note of that.
Sorry.
Maybe
Insane
it's
guy
a-
moment.
I don't know.
But yeah, I don't like the way that they're treated a lot in these early... Like, I think
No,
it
I
gets
agree
better,
with it.
Yeah.
But it's... Like, as a writer, it's got to be difficult... Writer, not rider.
Yeah.
It's got to be difficult to reconcile that, like... I've got a flying mount for my guy who is also a person. Like, that can't be an easy stance to write from.
Yeah.
Saphira's like barely being treated as a main character right now.
She just like flies up into the sky and doesn't hang out with them on the road.
Yeah, because like she can't. And that's such a weird place to be when you're writing and saying this is such an important character that cannot be here for plot reasons.
Yeah.
Which I feel like she misses out a lot in like early book development.
Yeah.
Like obviously she's a main character. I wish we got Saphira POV. I know this is a single point of view series, but like, oh wait, lying, Roran.
It's not, yeah. There's other people as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's a few
so.
other
Maybe
ones.
kid like Nasaleta, maybe?
Also, like the very first chapter wasn't, but like that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of that's prologue stuff, but it just would be. I'm just kind of mad that she's not as much of a character
Yeah,
as she
barely
should be.
even speaks in these chapters. I've just had a little flick through. I don't know, I feel like he must talk to her while he's making a saddle and putting it on her.
He's got to, right? Like you're making clothes for someone.
Yeah.
You got to be asking if it's okay to be like all up in there.
Yeah, you could be like, put your arm in the sleeve hole.
Please lift your wing.
Yeah, like he can't manhandle her. She's massive.
She's got to be so big at this point.
Eragon looks at a horse and is like, wow, that's so much smaller than Saphira. There's no way it could hold me.
There's a little throwaway somewhere where Saphira looks at a horse and it's like she's so jealous.
She's
She's fucking furious.
So funny. Oh my god. I loved Brom robbing that guy, robbing his swag.
That was funny. The description of that guy was really horrible.
Yeah, he was nasty.
There's a big evil troll standing in front of a bridge. That was
Literally
the
a
image
bridge
that I
troll.
had.
Yeah. He's greasy.
He's got teeth like crumbling
He's wearing a crop
tombstones.
top.
He is wearing a crop.
Yeah, I don't really know
He's
what they
like-
get out of this. They're just going to
Money.
the village.
They get free money.
I mean, they do get free money.
Why is Brom so rich, so fucking rich? It can't all be
Stealing.
that guy's purse, right?
Stealing.
No, it's not all that guy's first. I think he's
He's been sitting on a lot of money.
stealing and robbing.
Constantly robbing.
He's out on the roads as a bandit.
Because he like came to Carvahall with independent wealth. because all the stealing and robbing.
I see.
I don't know. I don't think he was collecting a fucking salary.
No.
At any. He's never worked a day in his life.
Bro did not have a job.
I think he's been committing crimes.
Just as a bandit, you don't want to go up against that fucking guy. Holy shit.
That fucking old man.
He's gonna blast you to smithereens.
I don't have too much of a grip on like how much the currency is worth.
Oh no, not at all.
But
So, when they were in that tent with Murloc, he had like that beautiful chain. Yeah, Murloc from World of Warcraft. Like rose on a chain,
like
silver thing.
5 crowns.
I
for
think it was like 5 or 3 crowns.
Yeah.
And he spends 200 crowns
Yeah,
on
this guy
this horse.
he doesn't want to sell his horse.
Well, this
I
guy's
thought-
charging 5 crowns to cross the bridge.
Yeah,
first of
exorbitant.
And
which is
that's, like,
stupid.
stupid.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
They could have just killed him.
But no, this guy
Yeah.
just really doesn't want to sell his horse, I think.
I thought-
I'm not sure they said how much the other one was.
Yeah, this guy
Kevin
laughs
has no
and
price.
says 200 is an exorbitant amount of money, which is way too much and no one's ever going to spend that.
Yeah.
And then Brom opens up his purse and is like, okay.
Okay.
The guy's
Okay,
really
that's
sad
good
about
enough.
it.
Yeah, that's his prize horse.
is-
I don't
prize
think he should
horse.
have bought Snowfire.
This
think
is a
that
very
was
mean
mean.
thing to
That
do.
chapter made me really sad. Like, if you had a prize horse and you were like, haha, I'll sell it to you for $1 million, and then the guy forks over $1 million, like, what are you going to do? Not take the money?
Yeah, because
But-
like, it's so much
he's
money.
that's your guy.
boy.
You were going to make a bunch of new cool horses with him.
It's, yeah.
And it's fantasy medieval times, so you can't, like, freeze a sample or whatever.
Put it in the river, maybe. Yeah, dick move from Brom, but this whole series of chapters is a dick move from Brom.
This is Haberth.
book.
Haberth says,
That's Snowfire. My name's Abbott.
then he waits for Eragon and Brom to introduce themselves, and they don't.
They just stand there.
They just stand there.
Guys.
Standing there emoji.
And then they buy his best horse.
God, what a weird day for this man.
Yeah,
Poor bastard.
so sad.
He's like, here, I've got 2 really epic horses and they can do basically what you just asked for. Check it out. And they're like, well, we'll take one of them. And the big guy.
There's a perfectly good horse that will do what he needs.
Yeah,
and Brom's
there's a
like, no,
perfectly good
give me your
roan.
best horse, dickhead.
Also, knowing that they ride these horses into the fucking ground
The fact
soon
that-
after.
It's only saved by the fact that this is a novel that they in real life would die.
These horses,
Died
they
big
go
time.
through the fucking...
A mercy death.
They go through the meat grinder and somehow come out whole. It's
Aw,
crazy.
poor guys.
Yeah. Well, Caddock doesn't. He fucking sells them.
Caddock doesn't last very long.
Caddock lasts... Well,
Well,
Caddock outlasts one very important person.
I like that Eragon's named his horse after his grandfather.
Yeah.
Very
cute.
Naming after my grandpa.
I didn't know that he saw Caddock. I kind of remembered him having Caddock the whole time. Snowfire's lame.
Yeah, Snowfire is lame.
Oh, my white horse named
Brom
Snowfire.
made a... I will treat him as if he'd been sired by Gildan Tor.
Harold has no idea who that is.
He's like, okay, thanks.
This is my cool horse, though. Why are you buying my cool horse?
Snowfire, I hope that misfortune is not before you.
For the sake of 200
taking
crowns.
him directly into misfortune on purpose.
Yeah. Why'd you take this guy's horse?
Evil, mean, rude.
You will not guard him well, Brom. Well, actually, he does guard him well.
You'll kill him in a
But you're
river.
taking him to a really horrible place.
Yeah, I think Snowfire is like a Lord of the Rings kind of slide reference because it's
Yeah.
a white horse with a funny name.
Oh, yeah.
There's a white horse.
Shadowfax. Which is Gandalf's horse.
Oh.
Sorry, didn't read Lord of the Rings.
Well, fun fact for all of our listeners, and also you, I guess, if you didn't know that, I haven't seen or read Lord of the Rings. So I didn't know there was a white horse with a funny name.
You've seen the superior
sorry.
movie, Eragon.
I have. I've seen the first Lord of the Rings with you a couple of years ago. I haven't seen the second 2. I've seen the first 2 Hobbits and not the third Hobbit.
Yeah.
I've read The Hobbit.
Comprehensive education.
Yeah, this is my Lord of the Rings, like my scattershot approach to Lord of the Rings, in which I've seen random amounts and read the children's book one.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, he clearly read Lord of the Rings.
Well,
before
yeah,
us,
he
but-
he
'cause
wrote
it's a fantasy
he wrote a
series.
fantasy book at age 15. He's read Lord of the Rings, but I haven't. So if he's got references to it, fuck if I know. I'm gonna have to rely on you guys for this one.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's okay. I
I know
thought,
a lot of facts about Eragon the series, but not its inspirations. If they reference like Narnia in there, I'll get that.
probably at some point.
I mean, surely. I've
I
read
don't
all of
know.
those a few times.
That's just referencing the Bible
Yeah.
with extra steps.
But we don't know
Well-
if he was Christian or not.
No, I don't remember if he was.
No,
or
I don't
not.
remember.
I always think he's Mormon, but that's
He's
wrong.
not.
Yeah, it's Sanderson.
Let's not get into
Brandon
that.
Sando.
Sando.
Keep that to yourself.
It's your business, sir.
Yeah.
No, I
Um,
thought Paolini might have been Mormon by the fact that he had nothing to do except dig a big hole.
Yeah, but I think
but I
that's
think
just,
that's just-
I think he was just rural
Yeah.
and homeschooled.
Eragon being really special at mind powers is really cute.
Yes.
It's like, my main character can talk to animals. Like, very relatable kid power.
I don't know if that comes back.
He uses it quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't really know.
To like calm the horses.
Yeah,
mostly.
He gives
I
them
think he
He doesn't talk to other people for a while with
not
it.
for a while. I think in like later when they're in the dwarves' territory, he uses it to calm like a scary wolf down.
Cool.
But yeah, he can mind talk to animals, which is so cute and fun. Brom is so fucking cryptic for no reason at all.
Again.
He's like, take the horses across town. And Eragon very reasonably is like, why are you
Why?
not coming with me? And what he could have said is, I'm going to check if the Razak came through town. I'm going to look for information, and you don't need to be there.
But what he does is disappear into the smoke.
Like, walk backwards into a hedge, Homer Simpson style. Like, you're not being cool, sexy, and mysterious. You're being an asshole for no reason.
What if Eragon gets kidnapped right there and then?
What if they are still in the town and
They're
they
still
just
in
like
town.
cast Explode Your Head on him?
Yeah.
So they can't cast, but they could throw a big rock.
They can jump really high.
Yeah, what if they Goomba jump you? Comes
Yeah.
back and rolls flat.
Brom does come back with like no information. It's like, oh yeah, they were here.
They were here and they left really
They left.
quickly. Okay.
They were scary.
This could have been an email.
Brom sent email for real. Yeah, I think the rest of the chapter is like good descriptive prose and gives you a really great sense of the landscape and like the tone of the area. And that is the end of my notes.
Yeah,
for
we
the
also
Rinsford.
get a few bits of the ancient language again. Would anyone like to have a crack at them?
Which bits?
So we've got the Utgard, which has two ancient language names, which is its original name meant unconquerable, and then he got conquered there, and it was called Place of Sorrow.
Ristvak Bane?
Yep.
Yeah, and it was originally Edoxil or Edoxil.
Oh,
I'm
God,
not
where the
sure.
fuck is that?
I don't. Just like 2 lines above that. I don't know if the
it's
ancient
not actually in
language.
here.
Edoxil?
Edoxil.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know if he's
It
it doesn't always. I don't like. Not every language does that. I don't know if his ancient language does the shit.
yeah,
for
because
that.
I mean English doesn't. Obviously.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what his inspirations are, and I don't think that's an important enough word to be in the glossary.
It's in the glossary, but
it's in
not in
the
the
glossary.
pronunciation
Not
guide.
in the pronounce-
Is there a pronunciation guide?
Yeah, there is
Yeah,
at the end.
one before. Well, Dras Leona is this soft S instead of hard S, I guess. I mean, I guess Allegazia is a Z. But I don't see any other places
No,
that
there's
there would be
no-
like the sill.
In the pronunciation guide, there is no SI.
So I assume
Yeah.
Edox sill is pretty pretty accurate.
I feel like he's obviously it's a made up language.
It's fantasy language. It's
and-
phonetic.
Yeah, he's making it up off of his like knowledge of
Just
linguistics,
English. Yeah.
which is probably
Yeah.
just English, and so that like SI.
That's alright.
shit.
Not every fantasy writer needs to make a whole language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is not
In
a Lord
fact,
of the Rings
this is a
reference.
PSA.
Most should not.
No.
it's not necessary. It's okay.
Yeah. So Eragon's quite moved by the presence of this little hut. It's like a fort or
It's
whatever.
a tower.
Yeah, I think it's like a mountaintop fort. I think it's a little more than just a tower, maybe.
they find that
What did he
the
even say
Razak
what
are
it
going
looks like?
to
Briefly.
what's the next town?
Yeah, there's like a fort, but you can only see the tower from the
Yazwak.
ground.
Yazawak, yeah.
Yeah.
Which apparently is maybe strange.
I'm so excited for Yazawak. It is a freak show.
Yeah.
Is Angelina there?
No, I
No.
think she's in Tiam.
Oh, in the movie she's there.
I don't think she
I think
arrives
she's
for a
in
while.
the port town. I think it's Tiam.
Yeah,
Tiam.
that's what I remember as well. Anyway, at the end of this chapter,
Sorry, no, I have to...
Sean has some
Oh, yeah,
thoughts and notes.
Oh, wait, no, I think it's the beginning
That's
of
for the
next
next
chapter.
one.
No, sorry.
it's alright.
My moment has not yet come.
The only thing I was going to say is that Brom beats the shit out of Eragon with a stick again.
Yeah,
And he's so injured, like he's bruised.
He's already incredibly injured.
He's so bruised, he's like bleeding, he's having a horrible time, and he's like, I think I will beat you over the head with a stick again.
Then he falls asleep nursing his injuries. Just
It's
kinda
also
passes
a new
out.
makeshift sword. He didn't even bring the old ones with him.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. It's just, Brom sucks.
Yeah.
Brom sucks. Thunder roar and lightning crackle.
Eragon is thinking about one thing.
Violent
Murder.
fantasies.
Kill
I'll do it with my bow.
with my bow.
He's on his copium so
And
hard.
then he's so fucked up and injured it's hard for him to stand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Brom has broken one of his fingers. It's described
Yeah,
as like
hot
hot
and
and
swollen.
swollen.
That's
Oh my
broken.
God.
Which, like, that doesn't heal quickly, and you are, like, trying to catch up
Yeah,
with these
he's not
guys.
splintered that.
Like, being a dick aside, beating the shit out of your little guy when you are actively chasing people with the intent to kill them.
Yeah, you should probably, instead of beating the shit out of him, teach him how to attack and so that he can
Instead
attack.
of like just how to defend and
Yeah.
not be good at it.
Because he's going to show up there covered in bruises with broken
Beaten to
ribs
shit.
and just, like, pass
concussion.
out and die. It's... Brom, your teaching strategy
Brom, your
is
teaching
terrible.
strategy
From your
sucks.
pedagogy is not very...
I don't think they've mentioned that the riders have like an increased healing factor or anything. They're just kind of stronger and smarter
Yeah,
and
I
live longer.
think they
think
do,
they
but I don't
do.
think it's mentioned.
Maybe silently.
I feel like
I think it comes up
must.
later. I mean, they have to, right?
Yeah.
What was your gripe?
Okay, we're here.
We're here.
So they're on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We've established multiple times this is the road into the valley. This is the road. The one road.
The only road.
In
I
many
think I know where
places,
you're
the
going
trail
with
all
this.
but disappeared, leaving them to find their own way down. At times, they had to dismount and lead the horses on foot, holding onto trees to keep from falling down the slope. The ground was scattered with loose rocks, which made the footing treacherous. The ordeal left them hot and irritable, despite the cold. This is the only way into town, and a bunch of caravans full of traders come this way twice a year. Now, how are they getting their ship of-
Derrinsford has a mill. It has enough economy to have a horse trader.
I know that there is a river, but they didn't say that the traders come by river at any amount. By any amount, I'm taking
Well-
a little look at the map. I think the river is quite small.
The river also goes like the other way.
The Honora River goes right by Carverhall, so if they were on boats, they wouldn't show up in their little
I'm
caravans.
also taking a look at this river, and it's shaped really silly. It's like a big U. There's like a lake above Carverhall. And the river goes in like a big U around the mountains and comes back up to Carverhall.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think a river would do that.
don't think it
simply.
But that's okay. That's not my business.
There's not really like
Put it
a
straight.
drawn road between Theransford or Yazwak either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
not a lot of
this is
roads
the-
on the map.
This is the only path.
There's not. Yeah. Well, the
yeah,
map
I
doesn't
was
have roads on it,
also
but they
thinking
said
that.
there's a road, and that's the road. It's shit.
Yeah, when I was
Make
reading it, I
your
was
road
like,
better.
is this
The road is like a
wrong
cliffside.
way out? If it's covered in grass and like, there's another mention of they're going down the road and there are big rose bushes at the side which are like grasping at their clothes, which is like how close to the first of all how skinny is this
Yeah.
road and how close to the road is like this overgrowth. Does no one travel down here?
Yeah, it also took them half a day to get down that hill. They rest at midday at the
Jesus.
bottom.
Yeah, the
These
infrastructure
caravans
is
are
bad.
really going through it.
These caravans are
caravans
mechs
have
on wheels.
legs, yeah.
Baba Yaga house.
I propose that they maybe had like goats because they can climb real good.
Thinking.
That'd be
Or
funny.
there might be.
Oh, we were talking about this in the car on the way to the gym a couple of days ago. We think maybe it's never mentioned, but they've got like giant mountain goats, and that's how they get all of their trade.
It'd be so cute. I don't know if
that
it's
would
thought
be
about at all.
cute and fun. I'd like it if they had those, but I don't think they do.
No.
They possibly mention having horses.
Yeah, it could be that they. I'm looking at the map. Could be that they take a ferry from Cunon. Ooh. Oh no, that's an unfortunate name.
No.
Sionon? I don't know. To like across the lake to Carverhall, then go down to Therinsford. But that still wouldn't explain why the road is so shit. Because surely
No.
people from Therinsford at some
to
point
Yazoo.
want to leave the valley.
And they're not going to Carverhall because there's even
Because
less
no one
there.
fucking goes to Carverhall.
I'm also looking at this map, and Bron's like, it's bizarre that they went to Yazuak.
Like, where else are they going to
Yazuak
go?
is by far and away the closest settlement
Yeah.
across this plain.
Yeah.
By so far, your other options are to go through the mountains to Nada, or to go to Sunon, one of the few places further north than Carverhall, and therefore one of the only other settlement that's civilized according to Eragon.
I think his civilization line kind of stops at the Honora River. You wouldn't be able to get
It stops at the mountains.
No, you can't. Well, you can get to Nada. I think the only way you get to Nada is like travelling along the coast to Tium and through that river.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you would go from Therinsford over the spine. to
No, no
Nottingham.
one goes
Nobody
through the
goes through the
spine.
spine.
The spine goes way further down than I thought
It's
it
huge.
did.
Go over the falls. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was silly.
Unfortunately.
I think that it simply just wasn't thought through, and that's all there is to it. But
Yeah.
it made me quite angry.
Yeah, I think he
To
just
think
wanted
about
to have,
all
like,
of those guys.
a travel scene and had needed something to happen.
Yeah, it could wait till like the rest of the book where it's all travel scene.
Not thinking about the infrastructure.
Yeah,
Get it
this
together,
is saying
bro.
here. I hadn't really thought about this until we just looked at the map just then. First of all, Eragon's really freaked out by being on a plane. Relatable. Weird when there's no hills around.
Yeah.
Canterbury is a bit fucked.
Yeah, later he worries about, he feels like a mouse about to be picked off by an eagle, and I think that is a very funny, like, way to think about it. 'cause,
That's incredible.
yeah, that is what you do for fun on a plains biome, is you get eaten by big birds. I think I'm the only person here who is not from a hill place. And I can tell you that when you can't see any hills from for miles and miles around, you do feel very small.
Yeah, but here it's mentioning the river going north towards Sunon or whatever. One of the greatest northern cities. That's the only.
The only other
It's the
northern
only
city.
Yeah, it's the only northern city.
The other ones are in the forest.
I mean, maybe
Well, they don't know about
They all don't know about them because they're the elf ones.
They're
maybe
elf
Nada
cities.
counts as a northern city.
Yeah, I guess so. Is it a city though? Does it have a city marker or is it a little marker?
It's got a city marker.
I gotta say, I grew up in a valley and my school logo were hills, so
I grew up on a floodplain, and my school song mentions the estuary. Oh God,
You guys had school songs.
we had to sing it every assembly.
We actually no, I think we did have one, but it was not really about anything.
we had a school haka, but we were
that
the
haka?
whitest school this side of I don't know.
The world.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, no, we also had a haka, but
Yeah, we had a really
there were only people at our school.
Yeah.
So.
my school had two things that it excelled in. It was kappa haka and aerobics.
Nice.
Ours was drama and rugby. It was great.
I didn't have anything.
Guess which
else.
one got funded?
Rugby.
Oh, we did have some other people who were different kinds of athletes though.
Ooh.
We had someone who was on like the national like hurdle squad or whatever.
Oh,
you
cool.
call it. I know it's an individual
Hurdle
sport, but you know they have like a team that they train and whatever.
Anyway, the book.
The book. It's windy.
It's very windy.
windy.
They have to fill their water skins at the river because it's some time before they reach another river. How do they give the horses water from water skin?
Pop it in their hair.
I genuinely. They mention feeding well, not feeding, giving the horses water to drink. But how do you? I was so worried.
You need
for
like a
them. How do
trough.
they?
Yeah.
How do they
Maybe
drink?
they just fill their feed bags or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's
Yeah.
not
What if
like
they're
a lot of water.
thirsty?
No.
Yeah.
They are thirsty.
They are thirsty.
100%. The horses are having
Well,
a
I mean,
bad
I guess the
time.
horses can carry a fair bit more water than a person can. But
Yeah.
they had like horse water skins as well. Okay, so they're making camp and Brum casts a spell by pretending he's swearing.
He swears Brisinga.
Is this the first time you see
fly.
Brisinga written?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did it earlier in his house, but they just said he swore.
He also does it early. He also lights a fire with it. Like the first
Somewhere
time they
else?
see camp. Yeah.
I think they lit the fire regularly the first time.
Did I? Maybe I'm just
I'm
very
pretty sure-
distrustful of Brom.
No, I'm pretty sure Eragon lit the fire the
Yeah.
other time it got mentioned they were lighting a fire.
Okay.
Brom's
Because
like
he's
so
trying
smug
to-
about
cause-
this, yeah.
Because Eragon's like the guy who goes straight to make the fire. That's what he's doing. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's a woodsy guy. He makes the fire, but then he couldn't. So he cast a spell and pretended he was swearing. And oh, don't worry, you totally got the embers going in there.
Yeah, he's a dick about this.
And Aragon's not looking.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He's
got bigger things
He's
to
got
worry
no
about.
conception of what could possibly be happening. So he
Yeah.
just goes, okay, I guess you
Does
lit the fire.
Eragon know about magic? I don't think Brom's mentioned magic.
I think in an abstract sense he knows it exists, but
He doesn't know that it spells.
Does he know the riders have magic?
I think so, but he also, like, I don't know that he has come across it as like being spoken about or like in his day-to-day life enough that it would come to the, like, he wouldn't think, oh, magic.
I guess the egg exploded in the forest and he thought, oh, weird, natural
was
phenomena.
Oh no, he did know that was magic.
Yeah, but like I guess if that
guess.
happens in front of you, that's what you think magic is rather than
Like lighting
a
a fire.
little fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what your first kind of thought.
Oh my god, Eragon, his lips are so dry, it's horrible.
And then Brom's beating the shit out of him again.
Get some Burt's Bees on that boy.
Yeah, not prepped for the horrible wind plane at all.
Well,
Could have bought some
heavy
beeswax in
anything.
town.
Well, Brom should have done that.
Yeah. Brom is not looking after himself or Eragon very well at all.
What's Brom saving all this money for? Just in general.
Just to fuck with the horse
Just to
guy.
fuck with the
I
horse
guess.
guy. Man.
Yeah,
He's
they
a
let the
water.
horses drink sparingly.
Oh, monotonous
You're complaining
trip.
about your monotonous trick of endless plotting. Think about them.
They're the ones walking.
They're the ones plotting.
Poor things.
The wind stops the next day, though, so it's
It
like
does. I guess
there's a storm on the horizon, but the wind has stopped.
The storm's cool.
The storm is
Simply,
cool.
it's very cool. I thought the scene with Saphira like struggling to land was great.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really dynamic and it's got a good sense of urgency, even if it's like it's quite short. But
And like the little realization that that she's up there.
and she's not going to be able to land in time. I think that's really like you're like, oh shit.
And she's having to fly away from them to gain more distance on the storm, and he's like making that Caddock fucking run.
Yeah, I think it's cute how freaked out he gets. I think like it's just like
It's a really fun scene.
Yeah, it's a fun scene and it does a really good job even in like a small amount of text to show how much they care about each other and like the lengths he's willing to go to like make sure she's okay. Like he puts himself in serious danger.
Yeah, he almost gets decapitated by her spikes while she's being flown around. And then they're like, he's hugging her and they're both trembling.
Yeah,
it's really
really
cute.
sweet.
And then he looks over and his horse is just like standing there with his back to the wind, and
Can
the
I just
image I
hang
have
out?
of that is so funny.
Bro, I'm just standing there.
You know when a horse is like idle animation?
Yeah.
He's just standing there with his back to the wind.
Like not being blown about at all, completely
Yeah,
still.
he's a beast of the ground. He's just there.
He's fine.
Like, I am obsessed with the guy standing there emoji when he's like he's literally just standing
He's just
there.
standing
Yeah.
there.
And that's what I was thinking about
Yeah,
the whole time.
that but a horse. He's fine. He's just standing.
Yeah. I can't wait to see more of these two interact. Like, that's what's cool and fun about the book is he's a dragon rider. And we see
she's a dragon.
and she's a dragon, and
Right.
we see so
Yeah.
little of them kind of up until
And he
this
doesn't
point.
even like ride the dragon. He's done it twice, and it was horrid.
He can't. He's ruined
scared.
his legs for life.
He is too horrifically injured.
He's
to
got a
do
saddle
it.
now, I guess.
But yeah,
Yeah.
just like them working together and like how much they care about each other was really sweet, and I'm excited for them to spend more time, just the two of them.
The description of the storm's really fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god,
There's
it's beautiful.
so much shit in here.
Oh my god, the natural cathedral.
Yeah, I thought like the description is so cool, and like this is definitely one of his strong suits as a writer. Is just like the description
Just
of
the imagery.
especially natural imagery. He's really good
Yeah.
at. And yeah, it's just. I mean, does somebody want to read the passage? Like it's gorgeous.
It's kind of multiple passages.
May I read the cathedral bit?
Yeah, go.
Yes.
As they entered its shadow, Eragon looked up. The thundercloud had an exotic structure, forming a natural cathedral with a massive arched roof. With some imagination, he could see pillars, windows, soaring tiers, and snarling gargoyles. It was a wild beauty. And then at the end of the chapter, there's also a pretty good description. I've skipped to the wrong bit. The wild elements were slow to abate as the day had passed, but as the day passed, they wandered elsewhere. Once again, the sky was revealed, and the setting sun glowed with brilliance. As beams of light tinted the clouds with blazing colours, everything gained sharp contrast, brightly lit on one side and deeply shadowed on the other. Objects had a unique sense of mass. Grass stalks seemed sturdy as marble pillars. Ordinary things took on an unearthly beauty. Eragon felt as if he was sitting inside a painting. I just think, like, it's gorgeous. It's really good prose.
Setting sun.
How about I just kill myself? Is that what you want? I'm trying really hard.
We were making fun of that guy for fumbling in that intro.
Every single time I fumbled, I was like, thinking about
It's
it.
over.
Thinking about it. I can do it now. I'm doing it again.
We'll write it again. We'll do it again.
We'll run it again. That's whatever. I don't care.
It's fine.
How do they not die of exposure? Simply, they're in the middle of a horrible storm. It's freezing cold. The
It's
wind is
winter.
awful. They're raining. They're soaked to the skin. They should die here
I don't know. It gets sunnier though.
after a full day.
Yeah, it's so fucked.
They like should have hypothermia.
They have no
Right.
shelter at all.
No shelter at all.
Yeah.
Freezing cold. But they're okay.
Pharaoh roars and the horses are skidder.
It's cute.
They're frightened.
I like how there's a small moment of like peace and serenity after all the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And also, it's not even the eye of the storm. They are actually safe from the storm.
Yeah.
While they're having their moment of bliss. Thank God.
Yeah, I thought that like the pacing and the like tone and just like the feeling of the chapters, it's good. It's short and it's really well written, and I really enjoy.
It's a good like action break from all the exposition.
Yeah. Then I almost read the next chapter. I read like the first page because I thought we were doing it. But I remember what happens in that chapter, and the next chapter is good. I'm excited for it. Do we have anything else to say about this one?
Check my notes. I think that we've done everything.
Yeah, I think overall it's a good set of chapters.
Very chill.
Very chill. Like a lot less going on after all the grief and horrible events of the past few chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So what are we on to next week? I think I'm on summary
Just put the book down.
again. We're on Revelation at Yuazak, Admonishments, and Magic is the simplest thing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of magic.
Sick.
Let's check the pronunciation guide. We've got a new location.
Yeah.
Yazuak.
Yazuak.
Yadzuak,
Yeah.
as it's spelled.
Yeah.
Exciting. What is that? 6? Nearly 20 pages.
Oh yeah.
15.
Yeah, it is 7, 8, and 9. I've
Not
got
bad.
Pretty reasonable.
Cut your little monkey.
Counting them
I've
out.
got little markers in my book where I've checked how long each of them were, and if they're
Sick.
split into 3s.
Yeah. I guess. Do we have anything else to say?
No, we'll record the outro another time.
Yeah. This has been Ears for Dragon. Thank you guys so much for listening. Do we have anything else to say?
No, we'll record the outro another time.
Yeah. This has been Ears for Dragon. Thank you guys so much for